Merry Meet YouTubers, this is Mystic Spirit, aka the Cajun Witch. Today I'm going to be doing a video on tarot for those beginners out there who are just learning to do tarot card reading. Tarot is a deck of cards that originated over 500 years ago and in northern Italy. And tarot was first in a game called Triumphs. Then it was quickly adapted as a tool for divination. Tarot cards were never meant to tell your fortune or future. That power comes from within. Tarot is just an aid in coming in contact with one's higher self. There are two types of readings you can do with tarot, question readings and open readings. In a question reading, you address a specific question. However, tarot isn't intended to answer yes or no questions. That's better used with a pendulum or Ouija board, things like that. Instead, it should be used as a guide to help you make the decision yourself. Now, having said that, the way a question is stated is very important. You should, for example, keep your options open. If you have the answer before the reading, then you're not allowing the cards to guide your overall decision. And for example, asking how you can encourage your mother-in-law to move out, as opposed to how you can better get along with her. Find the best level of detail. With your question, should be focused, but not overly detailed. For example, rather than ask how you can make your home less chaotic, ask how you can better balance kid or adult schedules. This is quite useful when you're doing a tarot card reading. Also, you need to focus on yourself. If the reading is about you, make sure that your questions focus on you rather than someone else who you think might be the root of your problem. You need to stay neutral. Don't convey or preconceive a notion that your view is necessarily the right one. Also, if you wonder why I'm looking off, I made some pointers on some cue cards, so I don't leave anything important out. Also, the cards will give you guidance if you ask for them, but if you ask for it, so you have to be specific in what you want. Be positive. Make sure that your question is stated in a positive rather than a negative way. For open readings, address the larger aspects of your life rather than a specific problem, area, or question. They're usually done when you're entering a new phase of life, getting married, graduating, starting a new family. There are a variety of tarot cards out there, and there is no standard number of tarot cards across all decks. While the type of cards, the suits, and their meanings are the same, the illustrations vary greatly. There are so many out there and so many wonderful illustrations. You have to do the ones that you're drawn to. The most common deck in the U.S. is the Rider-Waite deck, which was created in 1909 by A.E. White. The artist was Pamela Coleman Smith, and this is a 78 card deck. It's the only readily available deck in the United States for many years until recently. Also, the tarot decks are made up of the major arcana and the minor arcana. The minor arcana includes 4 suits, which are the wands, the swords, the cups, and the circles or pinnacles, depending on how you perceive it. Each suit has a meaning regarding a specific aspect of life. Also, the cards within the suits are numbered 1 through 10 and also include the court cards, which are the king, the queen, the knight, and the page. The minor arcanas represent the more minor, practical daily ups and downs of life. While also, before a reading is performed, the cards are shuffled by the person receiving the reading. This transfers the person's energy to the deck. Now, I don't necessarily do that because I don't like other people touching my deck. I mean, the most I'll let them do is cut the cards, because I feel that the person receiving the deck should also be concentrated on the question or the area that they seek guidance from. And while the reader shuffles the deck is what the overall thing is, but I don't like to do that because I feel that they put their energy in and it mixes with yours, and the readings aren't always accurate. So I always cut the deck to the left. It's just the way I've always done things. Once that is done, the cards are laid out in a pattern called the spread. Now, a couple of things really fast because I'm going to keep up on my time today. I'm going to show you a couple decks that I have. The number one deck that I use all the time, which I keep in my little silk pouch that I made with a little string, is the Color Your Tarot. I use that in a lot of classes because it's a tarot box. Let me show you. It comes like this. And it comes in with your basic tarot deck, which drew me big time. I mean, I use it more than anything else. It also comes with pencils, colored pencils, and then it comes with blank tarot cards. So you can create your own tarot cards. But I use these when I do a tarot class because it's the best way to get somebody to understand how a tarot deck works. For instance, you know, even the back is not colored. But for instance, what I use it for is I'll pass out with them face down. I'll let each person in the class pick out a card. Then they have to go and turn. Let me get one that's not. They go and turn, and the card that they pick, they have to use the pencils, and they have to color it. And then in the end, each person stands up, and they tell me why they chose the colors they chose and what feelings they got out of it. And that's the best way to learn how to read a tarot deck. You have to familiarize yourself with it. Now, I sleep with my tarot cards. When I get them, I sleep with them for 7 days. Under my pillow. Each night, I go through them one by one. This is a 78 card deck. And I hold them and I look at them and see what's the best feelings that I get from them and what emotions surface. And that's how I get to know my cards. I do that for 7 days. On the 7th day, I take them out. And I sew my own pouches, but I do have pouches that are already pre-sewn, and just make a drawstring, and then they go inside of it, and I take them out often whether I read them or not. I'm always reading my cards, but whether I read them or not, I still take them out because you don't want to not be able to use your decks, you know. The more you use them, the better your readings are going to be. Also, I have 12 decks in total, but I use probably about 4 of them all the time. And the ones that I'm going to show you now are the ones I use most often. This is the Da Vinci Tarot. I use these a lot. This is a more traditional tarot cards. They look like this on the outside, and they have more kind of a Victorian Renaissance era tarot. I like them. They're really good. I also have the Scarpini tarot, and they're pretty cool. If you want a really decorative deck to sit on your altar, then this is the one. It's very witchy looking. It has the pentagram on the back, but the cards are really pretty. A lot of the cards that they have in it are really pretty, and they did a great job on the illustrations. And just want to show you a few of those. Okay, so that's the other deck, one of the other decks that I use. And then lastly, or second to last, I have a miniature deck. See, this is how it is. I have a miniature deck that I use when I travel. This one is a Renaissance tarot cards. It's not as pretty or as illustrated as the other ones. I mean, it's very illustrated. It's just not to my liking as far as, but they work out perfect for what I need them for. And they're perfect size, and I can put them in my purse or my bag or my miniature altar set that I carry, my travel altar set. And I think I did that in one of my other videos, showed you one of my travel sets. The other one is Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. And these are beautiful, beautiful cards. And these are by Doreen Virtue, who has a PhD. But the cards are so beautiful. Look at the cards. They're just gorgeous. And they have little messages and passages down at the bottom. They're just so beautiful. I've really enjoyed this deck. And if you're looking for a deck of divination, this is a really good deck to get. And this is what the front. I paid $7.98 for this one at Half Price Books. Love going to that store. One of my favorite stores. Great place to get books to read on the craft, and also divination tools. Okay, and the last thing that I want to do real quick, I also have the Heart of the Fairy, which has beautiful, beautiful cards on it too. Here's a few of them right here. Sorry this is going so fast, but I have another video that I need to get done also. I told you in a recent video that I did that I print off cards. I Google the images and then print them off, and go to Walgreens, and I also downloaded the Walgreens app, and then I also downloaded Walgreens coupons. So I got like 30 or 40 cards the other day for like $2.50 or 55 cents. It was really inexpensive. It was totally under $3 for a lot of cards. So what I do is you can use them as postcards to send to your friends, or greeting cards during Yule. You can use them for birthday cards. I'm using mine as a tarot deck. I am creating my own tarot deck that is uniquely mine out of images that I found online that I've really been drawn to. Here's some of them. And I am going to print off whether they're Ace of Cups, the King, Queen, any of that, and I'm going to create my own tarot deck. And you can do that too for under $3. I mean, most tarot decks are anywhere from 50 to 78 cards in their deck, and you can choose how many you want and what type of divination deck you want. So these are just some things that you can do. I'm going to let you go for now, and I'm going to do another video following this one. And have a peaceful day, and blessed be.